This kit right here has a bit of a strange name. I guess it's a little bit up to your own interpretation whether you call this the high-grade Gundam Lfrith Anavata or the high-grade Gundam Lfrith Anavata. But one thing is definitely not up for debate, and that is that this is another fantastic Witch from Mercury high grade, so much so that it is a massive disappointment that it is a premium Bandai only release. Aesthetically, this is absolutely gorgeous. It took what the standard Lfrith did and changes a lot of nice aspects, giving it some unique flair, especially in those turbine powered heels. Besides that, we get a lot more shell unit and a ridiculous Ippei Gyobyu overhaul. As for what comes inside the box with this particular Vanadis heart suit, the blue color scheme on this kit is matched with some awesome crackling electrical effect parts. This is a kit that uses sword style Gund bits which harness a powerful electrical discharge. Combining that with the fact that this is a suit that can use most of its weapons without even putting them in its hands with its beam gun backpack and blades in the Gurenge Shield. Articulation-wise, this does exactly what we would have seen with all of the Witch from Mercury kits before, especially the high-grade Lfrith, which means it's rock solid and can pull off any pose that you can throw at it. Without a single doubt, a platinum tier awesome gunpla. Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another review, and today I'm taking a look at this right here. This is the high-grade Gundam Lfrith Anavata, and yes, this might just be the kit with the most, well, to put it politely, fucked up name when it comes to its Japanese to English translation, because its Japanese is Lfrith Anavata. One more time, Lfrith Anavata. That doesn't make any sense. I'm just going to call it Anavata for the rest of the video. Anyway, as you can tell from this washed down blue box right here, this is a premium Bandai exclusive, so that means I got mine through BUYEE. You can too, and the link is down there in the description. Let's check it out. So when it comes to the Anavata right here, you can probably tell from this design right here and the name that this is a variant of the Lfrith or the Gundam Lfrith. It is from the manga The Witch from Mercury Vanadis Heart, so exactly the same as the Lfrith Jew we would have seen before, or the Lfrith Jew, and in that manga it does look spectacular. This is designed by the absolutely fantastic Ippei Gyobyu, so that's why it's got such a cool design, kind of similar in a way to all of his kind of Gundam designs, including the high-grade Moon Gundam, so overall it does look ridiculously cool. Now when it comes to the actual build on this, like I mentioned, this is heavily based on the high-grade Gundam Lfrith, or the Lfrith. Here on out, I'm just going to call it Lfrith for the sake of ease. Now I thought this was just going to be a bit of a color swap of that, but that is not the case. We've got 3 runners in here bringing brand new parts to this kit, especially in the grey areas, on the shoulders, the chest, knees, feet, and a lot of parts up on the head, and the brand new cannons up on the shoulders. The build is that exact same absolutely fantastic Witch from Mercury high-grade build. We do have stickers in here. Sadly, we do not have any pre-molded permit shell unit for in the chest. It's just a sticker combo you can pick on or off. And this kit right here is straight built for the most part, but I did panline it a little bit, and I did paint the eyes because this is a kit with color separated eyes, and I didn't want to use the gold foil stickers, and I didn't want to leave them just yellow. But besides that, this is what you will get out of the box. And this right here is it in all of its splendor. So it is 100% a Gundam Lfrith with a bit of a Ippei Gyobyu finish. So you do see a little bit of Moon Gundam in there, and definitely the kind of style we would see on a lot of the Juturk heavy industry suits. Of course, the main question is, what does it look like beside the actual standard high-grade Gundam Lfrith? And there you go, that is the side-by-side comparison. So the answer is quite a bit different. So first up, when it comes to the head, this actually has a little bit of a kind of split V-fin on the head there, kind of similar to what we would have seen in the Schwartz Ed. The ears are, well, I think they might be just as long, but they've been angled quite a bit compared to what we would have seen on the standard one. The entire faceplate has been rearranged. Well, the entire head in here is absolutely brand new molded for this kit, so there is no standard high-grade Gundam Lfrith in here. We also have a lot more shell unit on the top of the head. Very nice. When it comes to the chest in here, it's not as fancy. It's a little bit more blocky than what we would have seen before, kind of like we would have seen on the Ur and the Thorn. It is a sticker that is inside of that. You have the choice of this red, orange fade, or it completely turned off, and it is just standard clear smoky plastic, but we do have those nice vortex generators sticking out like so. In the actual chest section itself then, we've got that cool kind of look that almost has a kind of face gunman kind of look to it, and this time around it's a lot more angular and does look quite strong. Very, very nice. So when it comes to the arms in here, the shoulders have completely been changed. They're a little... well, I was almost going to say simpler, but definitely not. We have shell units up in the shoulders. That's just in the front, by the way. We've got some nice molding on the sides, and overall they're a nice kind of roundy square shape. The overall arm and forearm, that is all the same. The actual arm itself is exactly the same besides the fact that it's now in a blue instead of the white. The waist unit has been changed quite a bit. The armor is a lot more squared off, points out at the crotch a lot more. Even the hip armor there has been changed ever so slightly, but the biggest difference I find is around back, where we've got this brand new butt flap with that cool little bit of a kind of wire section there, which really takes panel lining oh so well, but overall quite a bit different looking. The actual joints inside of there, the upper legs, those are all the same. When it comes to the legs, those are completely identical besides the knees. The knees are the only new parts. All the thrusters we would have seen before are there, and everything just, well, not much to say. It's the same, just blue, new knees. The feet in here are quite the departure. These are very, very new. The signature aspect, of course, being that heel back there, which is absolutely huge. I can imagine this will make or break a lot of people's liking of this kit. I love it. It's an actual little kind of hover unit. So this is a hovering mobile suit apparently, and it uses those big turbines to do that. That is pretty cool. And the funniest aspect is this bit right here, that bit right there. That is the old Rubris knee armor. That's hilarious. Anyway, now that you've seen the differences between these two kits, that's not including the accessories, by the way. The backpack on there is unique to this kit too, as is all of the weapons. But that right there is the full 360-degree spin. This right here is an absolutely phenomenal looking kit. I really like this design. It's taken all the coolest aspects of the Gundam Rubris or the Gundam Lfrith and kind of just added some cool new aspects. The almost bulkier aspects do kind of make it look more like what it is, an actual unit for using out in the field. This is a combat model of this particular Gundam, and that's exactly what it looks like. It's got some cool accessories too, but we'll get to those in a minute. Let's take a quick look at some of the details. So detail-wise, this is an extremely nice kit. We do have some subtle detailing here and there, like the grey section coming through the upper leg right here, which it got from the Rubris, the blue coming through right there, once again, from the exact same unit. We've already seen these shell units right here. These are very nicely designed. They're a little bit plain, but they are very similar to what we would have seen on the Thorn and the Ur. The face here is a brand new sculpt for this particular model kit, and like we've seen throughout this line, those eyes are fully color separated. Now I did paint them in a standard Gundam Gold marker because I wanted them to pop a little bit more, but besides that they would be in a shade of yellow. The exact same shade that we see right there in the back head camera, so that is also color accurate. There is stickers included, but I like to avoid stickers where and if I can. That's what the stickers look like, by the way, those ones in the chest. Again, all the cool staples we would have seen on the standard version of this unit. That is the thrusters there, thrusters there. These are brand new, and I think these are quite cool, these rotors in the heels. And overall, this is one absolutely gorgeous model kit. Let's check out what it comes with. But hold on! Before that, I always almost forget this. The proper comparisons. We've already seen the standard Lfrith right there. There is the Jew from the exact same manga, Vanadis Heart, the high-grade Gundam Aerial Rebuild, high-grade Gundam Calibarn, a standard-sized Gundam, so as you can see, the Witch from Mercury Gundams are quite big, and a random high-grade off-the-shelf, the high-grade Barbatos. So now jumping into the accessories, here's everything that comes with the Anavata, and what we get in here is a shield, a backpack, 2 swords, as well as a lot of effects for using with the swords in blue, a full little tiny action base for using with those effects, and 2 alternate hands. So when it does come to the hands in here, what we've had on here the whole time is a standard set of holding hands that look like this right here. These are the same ones we've seen across this line so far. But what we haven't seen across this line so far is a pair of alternate hands. That is very nice. Now these are a little bit different. These have a little bit of a generator in the palm of the hand that you can see right there. We'll talk about that when we're talking about the swords, and I suppose it's about sword time. This right here is the Gurenge, and what it says about this inside the instructions is defensive equipment to which the Narukami are mounted, the Narukami being the swords. When the Narukami are being wielded, or when attacking directly with them mounted, the rotating mechanism at the base is used. So the first weapon, or should I say piece of equipment that we have in here is the shield. I did say we're going to be looking at the swords, but this is kind of integral to those. So this right here just attaches via a peg into that little hole, just like so, in the usual way that you do with these kind of kits. and looks like that. So as it is, it's a fairly plain piece of a shield that looks like it'll defend as it should. And that right there then is when we bring in these. These are the Narukami, the swords that are included with this particular kit. They're made out of 3 pieces of plastic. That is the handle down here, the central kind of guard aspect, and the blade. Now what it says inside the instructions about these is the Narukami. A lightning conductive blade type gund bit. When operated remotely, an intermittent electric discharge is produced between the blades and the electricity generating manipulator. The mist ducts located across the unit can be used to emit dielectric mist and increase the relative permeability of the surrounding air, making the electric shock damage even greater. That's pretty cool. So yeah, the reason I bring up the shield and the swords at the exact same time is because you can actually store the blades in the shield just like that. Well, not right into the actual head unit, destroying the head, just right on in like so. So they slide in extremely nicely. Grabbing the other one and sliding it in, it is extremely simple, and they hold in perfectly. So like it said in the instructions, this has a rotating mechanism, so these can be used while mounted. So this can spin around and be used like a claw. That is a brilliant design, just something it can immediately get ready instead of having to reach for a sword. That is pretty damn awesome. When it comes to attaching these Narukami, it's very simple. You just actually pop off the back of the hands just like so and attach it in sandwich style, the sword being the ham and both sides of the hands being the bread. Then you just slap it back on, and these are quite lightweight, but these plastic on plastic joints definitely make sure that it has no issue holding on to them whatsoever. So that right there is what they look like attached. So a kind of short blade, almost with a little bit of a katana kind of vibe, with a tiered blade. We do have a long edge and a short edge. So yeah, that isn't all they do though. So like pretty much the entire blurb about this thing said, this thing is lightning powered, so you can pop out the blade just like so, and then we have a alternate part which just attaches on just like so, which is a crackling electricity powered blade. So now the blade part is transparent and we have that little bit of crackling energy around the outside. So we do have 2 of these particular weapons in here. You can have them whichever combination you want. I also tested to see if you can hold them reverse grip. You can if you want to as well. And we can use 2 of these awesome looking blades at the one time. There is 2 effect parts included, which is really cool. The next effect part we're about to look at, there is only 1 of those, and that is this. So this right here is some crackling electrical energy. We do have a bit of a peg at one end here, another bit of an attachment part down this end, and another little bit of a peg around here. We'll check out what all of that does in a second, but this is pretty cool. Anyway, let's start at this end. So using this electrical discharge right here just involves grabbing one of those stretched out widespread hands we would have seen before. You pop this into the palm of the hand like this for some unlimited power. Then, well, the worst aspect is that I was saying that this has great grip in its wrists, but it's not got enough for actually dealing with this. Archimedes totally screwing with it. Then you grab yourself one of these swords just like so, that attaches onto the end of the electrical bolt just like so. That's what it looks like. Once again, absolutely no chance of holding this up itself, but that exactly is the reason why we've got an included stand, which is this one right here. But yeah, getting it up on the stand just involves attaching this into the included stand just like so, and there we go. It's a little bit wiggly, you have to kind of get it just right. And there you go. This right here is a simple enough backpack, so it attaches on with the usual double pin adapter like so. So that means it'll be usable on pretty much any standard high grade out there. Getting the cannons like we saw up over the shoulders is as simple as pivoting it at 2 points like so, and that is what it looks like over the shoulders of the unit. Once again, this is such a clever design. We've got a pair of swords that can be used from the arm, and beam rifles that just kind of come up over the shoulders. They don't necessarily require the hands. These ones don't require the hands at all, and they look like they're going to do the job and do it fast, quick, and perfectly. Also, what it says inside the instructions about this is a beam firearm connected to the backpack. It is the standard firearm for this unit, which is not equipped with a beam rifle or other portable firearms. So because this kit right here does have the standard backpack adapter right here, that means we can attach on pretty much whatever that we want. So what I'm going to go with is the aerial rebuild right here, because it's a similar shade of color and I think it might just work out. So I'm just going to pop this off, move the aerial out of the way a bit. The color is super similar. So if we pop this on just like so, just like we've seen with some other kits that I have tried with this does not lay flat because it is entirely designed to go with the aerial, but it still is strangely secure on there. So that, well, I ate my words pretty quickly there. Okay, let's retry that to see what it looks like. So just pop it. That, a little bit tighter. Anyway, there is what it looks like on. And, oh, I'd almost say color-wise, that's 100% match right there. It might be likely to fall off every now and then, but that really adds to it. That's pretty cool. So finally, now onto the build and the articulation. The build on this is your, well, rock solid witch from Mercury. Build plastic on plastic we've been seeing for quite some time. Everything's perfect. Of course, the wrists don't deal too well with a lot of, well, force at a bit of a distance, but overall this is rock solid. Let's get in the usual test pose. When it comes to the articulation, this is identical to what we would have seen with the high-grade Gundam Rubris or the Lfrith. It's exactly the same. The only things that have been changed on this are external and cosmetic. So this pulls off the exact same fantastic poses we would have seen with that. So this has nothing that is negative. It's all brilliant. It's 100% fantastic. And it's just an absolute joy to pose. If you want to know more about it than just this pose right here, which it kills, then check out that full Gundam Rubris review. But yeah, what can I say? It is awesome. So that is it for the review right there, and this without a single doubt is another platinum tier kit like we would have seen with the standard high grade Gundam Rubris. Of course, that particular older kit did have that fully molded chest piece with the permit shell unit inside of it that did look a lot more impressive than what we're seeing on here. But the permit still does look nice, even if it's just stickers with some plastic bits over it like we see time and time again with these kind of kits. But this does everything perfectly. Going through the list aesthetically, it is absolutely fantastic looking, unique color scheme, and some cool armor sections that give off that Ippei Gyobyu flair. Accessories wise, we've got 2 swords, a shield, and a cool backpack, so it takes the standard Gundam weaponry and dials it up a little bit. The electrical effect parts are pretty cool too. When it comes to the actual articulation, it is fantastic. You will get no issues with this whatsoever. Sure, you could ask for a little bit more in a 4-arm rotation, but besides that, it is absolutely 11 out of 10 across the board. A great kit. So if you do want one of your own, I got mine through BUYEE, link in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to come back for more gunpla reviews, and I'll see you next time. As always, this video right here would not have been possible without each and every single one of you guys, so thank you so much for watching, and as usual, special thanks to those of you who helped me out over on the channel memberships right here and on Patreon, including Abraxas, Caleb Engelhart, Dashil Marmion, Go Little Rockstar, Joe, or G59061, 10 Soldier YT, and Van Fawn.